with Paul Pogba, look, when Ander Herrera left, people were like, oh, he's just a passion merchant. He's not that good. There's loads of midfielders better than him. We never replaced him. If Paul Pogba leaves, Camavinga's not Paul Pogba. Jadon Sancho's not Paul Pogba. And certainly Rafael Varane is not Paul Pogba. By all means, believe that Manchester United are better off without Paul Pogba. But I'm talking about one of the best midfielders in the world. I'll have that argument with anybody. You can talk to me about consistency. You can talk to me about he hasn't delivered this, that and the other. Here's an opportunity where he can deliver. He's got a top-class 2 centre-backs behind him. He's got a top-class number 10. He's got top-class wide players. You're going to give him a midfielder that can work with him. Paul Pogba, as we've seen for France and for Manchester United and for Juventus, you put him into a team with other good players around him. His passing range is world-class. His ability to run with the ball is world-class. He's physical. He can make, his creativity is world-class. He's a skillful player as well. I do disagree with this whole we'll be fine without Paul Pogba. It's like bloody Fred's walking out the door or McTominay's walking out the door. This is Paul Pogba. For me, you bring Sancho in and you let Pogba go, we're probably in a worse situation. And I rate Sancho, but I don't think people are really thinking through Paul Pogba leaving this club. Oh, we'll be fine if we get Kamavinga. Bullshit! If I said to you, Sancho's done, you get Kamavinga, you get Varane, and Paul Pogba signs a new contract. Regardless of who we keep, that's an amazing summer window. You get Sancho, you get Varane, you get Camavinga, you get Pogba on a new contract. You sell Lingard, you let Matic go. You sell one of your goalkeepers. That's an elite summer. That is an elite summer. On the other hand, you get Sancho, you miss out on Varane, you miss out on Camavinga, Paul Pogba goes, you keep Matic, you keep Lingard, Mata's already staying, you keep both your goalkeepers. That becomes a bad summer. So look, some people are half glass empty, some people are half glass full. The club have created those people in a footballing sense. I'm not talking about your personal mood or I wake up in the morning, I'm full of life, or I wake up in the morning and I'm arguing with my cornflakes. That's what you like personally. Your football mood may reflect that, or your football mood may be different. Apparently, Camavinga's playing in the Olympics anyway, so that's a great point actually. Even if we did try and replace Pogba, I don't know what we'd do. I can't think of anyone else like him. Thought of losing him terrifies me, says Daniel Kirk. Mark, on Camavinga, Ollie doesn't... Yeah, we did that one from Jack. I mean, look, let me just say about Camavinga, if he's part of the French Olympic squad, that happens in August, which means he won't be playing in our first couple of games, which means who will be playing? McTominay or Fred, which means when Camavinga comes back, oh, I've got Scotty or Freddie playing now. You're down the order. And I think that is a very good point about Camavinga. There would be a massive concern about Camavinga not being picked. And yet, at the start of the season, he wouldn't get picked anyway because he'd be part of the Olympics. Then he comes back. We start the season quite well. Cammy, you're not even on the bench at the moment because I've got Scotty starting and Freddie on the bench and Matici. So we'll keep you back for Carabao Cuppy in September. And then the season becomes another Donny, doesn't it? So yeah, Camavinga would be a very exciting signing, but he's obviously not going to go straight into the team, is he? He's got pace, he's got ability on the ball, he's got experience, and he's a top 5 class centre back. And if you put him next to Harry Maguire, I think some people don't think Harry Maguire is a top 10 centre back in the world. I think he is. I just don't think he has been. But I think he will be if you put him next to Varane. Because I think, look at Harry Maguire with John Stones. Harry Maguire with Lindelof is, it's like, well, I can't really say what I was about to say there. But it's like Margot Robbie marrying Ian Beale. It's not really a very fair relationship, is it? You put Rafael Varane in there, it's like Margot Robbie marrying Leonardo DiCaprio. They're a good-looking couple. I don't see that. As I said, Ian Beale is just like a Pratt off EastEnders. Is no oil painting, and I think that's what you get: Margot Robbie and Ian Beale with Lindelof and Maguire. And I think that is that Margot? Is that Maguire's fault? You put him with Brad Pitt or whatever I said, DiCaprio, Varane. You've got a very good partnership there. So I think Maguire with Varane will become a top class centre back, a top 10 centre back. I am quite concerned about this Paul Pogba situation because I do see people just saying, "Oh, let's get rid of Pogba. We'll be fine without Pogba." And I think evidence in the past shows that that's not the case. You can't just remove players like that and say we'll be better off without them. McTominay and Fred will still be here. And I think that those two players are a massive problem. I don't care what they do for Brazil, and I don't care what they do for Scotland. What they do in a Manchester United shirt over the last 2 years worries me. I think Pogba and Fred can work together in the midfield, but for some reason Ollie doesn't want to do it. I don't think Pogba and McTominay will ever work, and I can't stand McTominay and Fred. So only Sean Dyche can speak English, says Talal. But I'm not. Look, I've always been a fan of Pogba. I'm not Pogba FC. I can't be arsed with any of that. But I've always been a fan of Pogba, and I've always been critical of him as well. I think he has been inconsistent. But I'll always say it. You can't remove players of that quality and just say we'll be fine, because transfers are not 100%. In my life, I think every United transfer we've ever done, 70% at best have worked. 30% don't. Varane didn't work. You know, Falcao as a loan deal didn't work. Di Maria didn't work. Schweinsteiger didn't work. I'm naming players that I was excited about here. There's loads of players that I thought would be shit and were shit. Transfers don't work all the time. But let me just say about Dan James. I was reading something today about the favourites to sign Dan James. Get your lips around this. I've got a certain thing on my mind, I think, today. Get your lips around this. Get your head round this. A little bit better. The top 3 favourite clubs to buy Dan James this summer are Leicester, who are firm favourites. Then it's Brighton. Then it's Leeds. Now, a lot of people thought that it would be Leeds who get Dan James, if he's going to go. But apparently Leicester lead the race. And I'm not going to dwell on this, because to me, it's music to my ears if we sell Dan James. But I actually think those 3 clubs will be very good for him. Leicester play on the break, Brighton will play on the break, and Leeds play a very expansive style of football. So I can see it working. I can see that working with Dan James, and maybe it'll end up being a loan deal. But ultimately, as long as he's not at the club next season, I think that would be good for him and good for Manchester United. So yeah, I mean, I can understand the argument there that Rice is a better fit for Manchester United. But of course, the intelligent argument is that there is no argument to be had. Declan Rice probably doesn't want to come to United and is ridiculously overpriced. Kamavinga is ridiculously underpriced and could be a better player. So I can see why United would look at Camavinga, although I think they probably want Declan Rice. I would go with Declan Rice, but the price for Rice ain't right, is it? And yeah, Camavinga, like Varane, is well underpriced. I think, again, if Camavinga's got 4 years left on his deal, you're talking 50, 60, 70 million.